This video is a demonstration of how to get started building a substrate pallet. So we are looking at the Substrate GitHub repository, and we can see that they haven't had a release in almost 2 years. So of course, if you're building a substrate pallet, you need to know which version of substrate to build for. So what should you do? Well, let's have a look at Polkadot. Of course, Polkadot is built with Substrate, and they have a recent release, 0936. So let's see what they use. We'll have a look in their Cargo.toml file. And we can see when they pull in a package from the Substrate repository, they actually use a branch for that exact version of Polkadot. So these Polkadot branches in Substrate, they've actually become the de facto versioning system for Substrate. Maybe at some point in future, Substrate will have its own versioning system, but in the meantime, you should stick to these versions that are associated with releases of Polkadot. Okay, so when you want to build your custom pallet for Substrate, you should start with this repository. I'll have a link to it in the show notes below. So of course you can copy the URL for cloning. So you would git clone the repository. I've already cloned it, so I will just enter the repository, and we can see there's a directory called pallets, and then there's a subdirectory called template. So this is the directory you want to use as the basis for your new repository. So you would do something like cp-a pallets template, and then maybe copy it to your home directory, maybe call it example pallet, for example. So I've already done that, so I'm just going to enter that directory. Okay, and then of course you can customize the name, so maybe call it pallet example frame pallet, and let's do a cargo update. And we can do cargo check to make sure it all compiles. And then we can even do a cargo test. So then the example test will pass. Okay. But as we can see, we are using a slightly older version of Substrate. So maybe let's update that to the latest one. So change that to 36. Save that file. We can do a cargo update. So that updates all the packages. And of course, I've already done this, so it shouldn't take very long. So then your pallet is now on the latest version of Substrate. So thanks for watching. If you like this content, please give me a like. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please subscribe.